Our state government maintains records on a range of topics, including information on ourselves. You have a right to that information, and you'll get it through what is called a Freedom of Information Law request.
The state has made it easier to ask for records now, but as News 4 Investigates has found, the problem is how long it takes to get them. Luke Moretti has more.
When it comes to government business,
as citizens, we have a right to know.
But oftentimes, government would rather you didn't know.
They hope you go away.
Just this summer, Governor Andrew Cuomo heralded a Freedom of Information Law initiative, which he called a giant leap forward. OpenFOIL New York is an online portal designed to make it easier for people to file Freedom of Information requests with the state.
So that's a step forward. But we often see with FOIA, there's one step forward and one step back.
Take, for example, the state's online portal. While it certainly enhances the ability for taxpayers and the news media to file a FOIL request, receiving records is an entirely separate animal.
It shouldn't take months.
But that's precisely what happened when News 4 filed a request with every state agency for salary and compensation records using OpenFOIL New York. The initial requests were sent back in July and August.
It's hard to explain.
State Assemblyman Sean Ryan was a bit perplexed when we explained the delay. Keep in mind, we asked for the most basic information maintained by the state: employee salaries and compensation.
It should be in your hands by now. It'd be hard for me to explain based on the law why it's not in your hands.
We should point out that a few state agencies referred us to another website to find the information in a computer file format known as PDF. The problem is, it's formatted in such a way that it can't be analyzed and queried easily like a database. Paul Wolf is an attorney and president of the Buffalo Niagara Coalition for Open Government.
It's not that hard to put this stuff into a searchable database or a spreadsheet, but they frequently will resist to, again, make it as hard as possible.
Robert Freeman, executive director of the state's Committee on Open Government, says part of the purpose of the state's Freedom of Information Law, known as FOIL, is to make life easier, not more difficult.
If we have the ability to make whatever the data might be in the form or format of so-and-so's choice with reasonable effort, yes, the courts have said we're supposed to do that.
Here's an example of pushback we received at the state level. A FOIL officer with a division of budget said our request for salaries and compensation was, quote, overly broad and not reasonably described.
That's a common technique. We're just going to stall, we're going to smoke screen, you got to get more specific, and it shouldn't be this difficult.
If we're talking about salary information only, and you haven't gotten anything yet, based upon requests that were made in July, it doesn't seem to me that that would reflect, let us say, good compliance with law.
How about this one? News 4 foiled the State Department of Transportation back in May for accident data. It took 4 months to get it. While the agency sent us a spreadsheet, it was locked with a passcode, making the data impossible to analyze and query.
There's thousands of rows of data that I cannot sort, analyze, or query because it's locked and I don't have the password.
In this condition, it does you no good?
In this condition, this data does me no good. It's useless because it's locked and I can't do anything with it, and they won't give me the password.
Do you think that was intentional? They sent you a locked document?
Who knows? I don't know.
Okay, because if that clearly violates the FOIA law.
The sometimes rough and tumble path to records access isn't just a state of New York problem. Paul Wolf says he encounters information roadblocks at the local level consistently.
There's a culture in government that we don't want to disclose information, we don't have to disclose information, and they can get away with it because the only way you can challenge them is in court.
And that takes money, tens of thousands of dollars in some cases. Not an easy lift for the average taxpayer.
You don't want to make it so the local village government will play hide the ball with you all day long, knowing that you'll never have the resources to go to court.
Would you agree that we need to do a better job at responding to Freedom of Information requests?
100%.
There's been some progress. About a year ago, state lawmakers and the governor amended the Freedom of Information law. A court now has the authority to award attorney fees payable by the government under certain circumstances.
The idea is to encourage agencies to engage in what I've come to call the Spike Lee principle. We're supposed to do the right thing. We do the right thing.
Now, the state would not provide anyone to comment for the story, but just days after we made a request with the governor's office, the responses began to flow into our email. Now, we should also point out that months ago, we requested other records under Freedom of Information that have nothing to do with salaries, actually. We're still waiting for those records.
Really?
So,
why should the average taxpayer care about this process?
you know, public records belong to the public. They help inform everyone, whether it involves, you know, contaminated land that's near their homes, or maybe a development project that's in the neighborhood, or just the basic payroll information that we requested. It's your government. It's your information.
And this information belongs to everyone. This is not just involving reporters here. This is
Anyone
anyone
can
in
ask
the
for this
public.
information.
Yeah.